Hello again, everybody. It is Thursday. Welcome to the Upside Down. This is just Parlays with Chris King. I'm your host, Scott Steehn, the lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com. I was just noticing the intro, Chris, the 30 seconds where the stuff is floating. It looks like the shit floating in the Upside Down. You watch Stranger Things? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's like kind of big ashes just kind of floating around everywhere. That's what that opening reminded me of. So
when you talked about the Upside Down, it just kind of reminded me of the Seinfeld episode where it was the Bizarro world where they all went you know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the funny thing was, speaking of Seinfeld, Jason Alexander started for the Brewers yesterday. Unfortunately, Art Vandelay didn't come in out of the bullpen.
I'm gonna need the Vandelay. And you want to be my relief pitcher? Jesus Christ! Oh man, how'd your day go yesterday, buddy?
Well, I mean, we had a one-teamer. It almost never happens, but thank God for rainouts, right?
The Yankees. That was my play of the day. A bunch of guys in my comment section had the Yankees as part of winning parlays. Most of them had the Astros and the Mets and the Yankees. So, I thought the Yankees would go out there and do well, but we didn't get to find out. So,
but we'll find out today, unless they get re-rained out.
I can officially say this now. I have this first game as a premium play with the Yankees. I continued to back Cortez, even though it was Ohtani going instead. I didn't care.
And they're ahead 2-0 in the second.
Yep. So far, so good. Elliot V gets extra credit. Give him an extra gold star today, Chris. He got here early.
The Disco Inferno got here early?
Burn, baby, burn. He's got Yankees money line game 2. Brewers money line is a dog, and the Avs -1.5. Golden State -3.5. Atlanta, Tampa Bay money line. There you go.
Now we'll be prepared because you'll hear from Reichel about how Matt Carpenter homered again. He's now got 2.
He used to room with Satchel Paige. And speaking of Paige, look at this segue. It's Ryan Page, everybody. He's checking in AC at the Caesars Sportsbook, watching that Yankees game. How about that, man? How about that for a plug for Caesars? Michael Dost in the hizzy. Super Sly is here. Erlo Gaston. Who y'all like in the MLB? Man, I bet we get to that, Chris. I bet you give a bunch of options for the MLB.
Allegedly.
I'll give you one right now, and it's easy to say. Like I said, I do have the premium on the Yankees behind Cortez, and that's who I like so far. So,
and of course they'll play later, and that means we get to see Reed Detmers, who we didn't get to see yesterday.
Yeah, that's who I really, really wanted to fade, and I might have to do it again, even with Tyone. We'll just
talent's not been bad though.
What's that?
Talent hasn't been bad for the Yankees.
Tyone.
Is that how it's pronounced?
It is.
Well, we'll just call him Biff.
That's why I love Baseball Reference, because it gives guys like me that just kind of muddle their way through shit. It tells you how to pronounce them, so it's pretty damn handy. Although not all of them do it. I probably had to go at some point to YouTube and see Tyone, because I originally my first season called him Talon, and that is not correct. So
we'll just call him that other guy that came over from Pittsburgh.
Good point. So yes, Erlo, we will talk about MLB here in just a second. Michael Toast wants to know the thoughts on the Rangers maybe taking the series last night, beating the Avs. Well,
you mean beating the Lightning?
I mean beating the Lightning. Sorry, I got Avs on the brain with tonight's game. No, I could certainly see it. You catch fire at the right time, and anything is possible. They looked really good last night. Of course, they haven't played bad at home anyway. So,
let's not overlook the fact that there was a rust factor involved too, because Tampa Bay hadn't played in about a month.
It's always comes down this time of year. It always comes down to the question whether it's rust or rest. Which is it? Did it serve you well, being able to heal, being able to take a few days off, or do you get rusty, getting out of the rhythm, getting out of the groove? I think it's different for each team, man. What do you think?
I think in the case of Tampa Bay, I think with all the momentum they had, I think it got stunted because they didn't play for almost a week and a half.
Yep.
So they were just flat. And
Yep.
you can't come out flat against a team that had their backs to the wall and had to win games 6 and 7 in order to get here. And the Rangers, they rode that desperation, and they took advantage of a Tampa Bay team that took too long to find their legs.
Now, can we draw some comparisons to this game tonight? You've got a Boston team that came off a tough Game 7 series with Miami versus a Golden State team that, at the end of the day, only took 5 games to get rid of Dallas. Do we have a similar setup here tonight, or are you riding the Warriors?
I'm going to stick to Golden State just because they play so well at home. And on a plus side, this is a case where rest actually benefited Golden State because they say Otto Porter could be back tonight. Iguodala could play. Gary Payton is trending towards dressing and being in the lineup. You can't take away what Iguodala did in the finals a couple of years ago and what Gary Payton has done before he got hurt in the playoffs.
Yep, very good. Rye Cape, our NASCAR buddy, checking in, says the Rangers, baby. Yeah, Rangers definitely took care of business there against Tampa Bay. Were you surprised they had that much success against Vasilevsky?
I am, but again, that could just come back to the fact that they had too much time off.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, and this is going to be the trick for the Rangers if they're going to win this series, is the fact that Tampa Bay is, I think, 18 or 19-0 coming off a loss in the playoffs in the last few seasons.
Yeah, Vasilevsky himself is, I think, 16-0, and Tampa Bay is, I think, about 3 over that. So, yeah, they have a little longer streak, but Vasilevsky's stats coming off a loss in the playoffs are just monstrous.
Yeah, so can the Rangers actually, do it again? That's the thing. Anybody can do it once. I mean, go back all the way to Rocky 1 when he knocked down Apollo Creed the first time, and then you get Duke saying he doesn't know it's a damn show. He thinks it's a damn fight. Now finish his bum and let's go home.
Right.
And of course, that's not what happened, but that's what the Rangers have to do. Can they put him on the mat once? Can you keep him there?
Now, if you wanted to ride, I didn't even mean to say that, but if you wanted to ride the Lightning, right now series price on them is plus 105. A lot better price than you're going to get if they win the next game. So
that's true, because I mean we talked about that with the Florida series. Why the hell were they an underdog in the first 3 games of the series?
Right. So if you're a fan of Tampa Bay and you think they're going to come back, you think that was just an aberration, Vasilevsky and the rest of the team is going to clamp down, plus money on the rest of the series, I don't hate it. It. But however, if you like Rye and maybe some other folks out there, if you are all in on the Rangers now, minus 125. So I would wait. I would wait till after game 2. Because like you said, it's going to be hard to play into the teeth of that Tampa Bay team coming off a loss in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they're going to be pissed off now.
That's what I'm saying. So I would wait, and probably then it switches around, and you're probably getting the Rangers back at plus 110, 115, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Tim wanted to know if anybody had the Pirates sweeping the Dodgers.
Yes, somebody did. Nobody that I know, but somebody somewhere.
Some drunk guy in a bar.
I went through and figured it out. I figured it out as a rollover parlay, and I just put a rough estimate as what the numbers were. I think I put like plus 300, plus 280, maybe plus 240 or whatever for those games. Came out in the neighborhood. If you'd have rolled it over or played a 3-game future parlay like that, somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 to 50 to 1.
Yeah, that sounds all right. I think I saw Greg Peterson talked about it on Vision yesterday too, and it came out. What do you mean, oops?
Hoops? No, Greg Hoops Peterson.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had posted about it. I think it came out like somewhere like you said, 47 or 48 to 1 or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I figured it both ways. If you rolled it over, it was about 51. If you'd just played it straight like that, it was about 46, something like that. So yeah. Right, Cape brings up an interesting point. It says fresh legs take time to catch up, and Golden State has been a better second half team than a first half team throughout the playoffs. So if you wanted to take a spin on Boston, if you really wanted to go for the triple Lindy with the dismount and stick the landing, you could go Boston first half, Golden State full game.
True,
but you're a better man.
There you go. Peterson said, assuming you had around 300 in game one, plus 275 in game two, and plus 225 in game three, 100 on a 3-game money line rollover netted 48.75.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm glad it's been confirmed by Hoops. So you guys don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass here, but I didn't see it. I didn't have it. I would have faded him probably all 3 games. I had some questions about yesterday because we talked about that being the most favorable matchup of the series.
And Quintana didn't get the win. It went to the bullpen.
Yeah, which, it really went to the offense.
Well, true. But, I mean, they scored a bunch of runs late because I think the turning point in that game came in the 7th inning because it was 3-1 or was it 3-2? And Turner hit a little looper to center. They caught it, and Lux decided that he was going to try to run anyway and got gunned down by about 6 miles.
Not good. Yeah, we had the over in that game, and it was pretty much a sweat until it wasn't. So,
which is pretty funny because on Total Chaos, you guys took the under.
Yeah, I know. I saw that, and then I was like, nope, I went the other way.
And then I took the over.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
I felt bad for Mitch White, though. He didn't pitch badly and
no.
On the wrong end of that.
Rice says he'll bet Golden State plus money. Yeah, that's absolutely the plan because Boston. I do believe it takes a little while to get the rested legs heading in the right direction, and you throw on top of that the way the Warriors played in the first half, and I think that's a solid play. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now that we got a few people here, I hate to do it right off the bat when there's like 3 people watching. So now that we're right in the 30 range, we appreciate everybody smashing that like button.
Which is why we never mentioned it on the NASCAR show.
just do it right now. Just hit it while you're thinking about it. There you go. Subscribe to both of our YouTube channels, of course, the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel and the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel, where a week from Monday, that is the exclusive home of all of the shows that you've come to know and love here. So make sure that you get subscribed so you can check us out in real time, like you usually do. And speaking of the Max Wagers Network, great lineup all day long, noon, midday money with Sean Higgs, 1 o'clock. Allie Burns giving you morning wood, and 2 o'clock, it's me and Chris taking that morning wood right down. Scott and I are doing 3 o'clock, back to the window. 4 o'clock, Sean Miller talking about the beautiful game, footy from around the world. Bringing it all home with Crowded Booth. It's the Tim and Nick Earl, along with Detroit Lenny, giving you your game time decision.
It says a Crowded Booth. You should have gone a Crowded House.
Crowded House?
Yeah, don't dream it's over.
Crowded House, formerly Haircut 100. Did you know that?
I did not.
There you go. Fun stuff, buddy. And don't forget Caesars. Do the Caesars thing. Ryan can back us up. It's a good joint. If you happen to be in New Jersey, you're somewhere else, you can use the app. It's a great thing. Make your first bet your best bet because Caesars will guarantee it. Insure it, if you will, up to $1,100. You simply fund your account, make your first bet, and maybe you got a lock. Maybe you're on something. Maybe you have a certain way you're leaning on the hockey game tonight. Maybe perhaps you're ready to back those Celtics at plus money. Whatever it is, you can bet up to $1,100. If you win, you'll win up to $1,100. Congratulations. If you lose, Caesars, they'll make it good. They have a guy in a wreath around his neck. He wears a toga, and he will come directly to your house and hand you a check. No, that's not how it works at all. But they will make your account whole up to $1,100. You must use the code ATSWINS. Caesar, that is ATSWINSCZR. Of course, if you have a memory like a hamster like I do, we have been kind enough to provide that link in the show description, along with the link to the actual website that'll get you going. Of course, it must be available in your state, must be 21 to play, except for the great states of New Hampshire and Wyoming, where you have to be simply, I believe, 5.
Yeah, at least 2'6".
They get him going. If you're old enough for mutton busting out there in Wyoming, then you're old enough to the sport bet.
Now, do you think Mattress Mac has just opened up alternative accounts so he could use this offer? Yeah,
but he's not very clever. I think one of them he's Mattress Mike. No, I think people are able to see right through it. But
that's too bad. But nobody ever accused him of being, a Rhodes Scholar.
Tim Earl, I know Tim. By the way, hello, Tim. I know Tim is a big ECU fan. It's his favorite team is the Pirates, and they've made the tournament this year, the NCAA Baseball Regionals. They are minus 10,000 against Coppin State. I'm assuming that's not the one game. They're probably minus 10,000 to win the regional.
It could just be the one game against Coppin State.
I don't think so. I don't think somebody's 100-1 to win a baseball game.
Because they'll be like, wow, hey, look, Coppin State really sucks. How'd they get here?
And if it is, I don't believe it's. I don't know.
They'll be like, hey, Coppin State has 6 wins in baseball, but they won the Prairie View A&M tournament there.
Michael Doe says he'd rather have Belushi in the toga. When that scene where he's walking down the steps and he's that dude is saying, "I gave my," and he picks up that fucking guitar and just smashes it against the wall. It gets me every time. I've seen it 100 times, and I will still laugh my ass off every time I see that. That is just. And then the shrug of the shoulders as he hands him back the neck with all the string sticking off of it. It's beautiful.
Well, there you go, Scott. Coppin State was 24-28 this season. They were the number 2 seed in the MEAC conference and beat Delaware State twice to advance to the regional for the first time in program history. So they could be minus 10,000.
Tim Swinner said, no, just that one game.
Well, East Carolina is number 8 in the country, so
I know they're having a great season. They're plus 170 to win the regional. So is Tim? Is it actually their regional?
Yeah, it's in Greenville.
Okay, all right, there you go. Well, let's make some money, buddy. You ready? I think we've plugged everything. We haven't plugged your premium picks, so make sure you check out Chris's premium plays if you want to. If you want to ride the roller coaster, do some incredible highs, and then have some days where you're like, I missed all my parlays. Yeah, that's parlays. That's what fucking happens. But you just stick with it. You're going to make money. I guarantee you, Chris. I don't know if you put together your profit since you've been doing this, but I would guess it is substantial.
Roughly in the neighborhood of $72 bazillion.
There you go. So make sure you check out Chris's premium plays. If you want a little more steady Eddie, the old guy that's just going to give you 2 or 3 of his best picks every day. Sometimes we even throw out 4.
Wait, not yelling at clouds.
I too have my premium picks available as well. So, Chris, let's get to it.
Well, first, Scott, before we get to it, let's just point out that Marion Barber III passed away yesterday at 38. The former Cowboys and Bears running back, and apparently Ryan Fitzpatrick decided he's going to retire.
Okay, 2 things that are weird to tie in together, but all right. Condolences, heartfelt to Marion Barber. 37, he was.
It said 38, but
38.
Yeah, I think his birthday was recently though. So, and Fitzmagic is 39 as he retires.
Is he only 39? Really?
Yeah, it just seems like he's as old as George Blanda when he was still playing.
We used to go when I was a kid. We had season tickets, and before halftime, we would go where the opposing players ran, and we would stand there and yell at them as they ran back to the. Jack Tatum flipped us off one time.
Well, be glad that's all he did was flip you off.
What made me think of that though was the fact that George Blanda ran by and he had gray hair, and I thought that was the freakiest fucking thing I'd ever seen on a football. Like, oh my god, the guy's got gray. My dad doesn't even have gray hair. Holy crap!
I mean, Blanda played until he was 49.
48, 49, right in there. Absolutely. No more Fitzmagic. Nope. Tim says he's going to be at the game. So good. I'd be as big of a college baseball fan as he is, and as big of an ECU's fan, and they're in his hometown. I would be disappointed if he wasn't at the game.
Agreed.
All right. So let's make some money, man.
All right. Let's start off on the diamond. And look, it's the Yankees and the Angels in game 2. Scott already told you about game 1, which we couldn't have put up because it started before we got on the show.
We could be unscrupulous. Yeah, we had it all the way.
I mean, I thought that Cortez was going to pitch well. I was a little like you. I was a little worried about Ohtani, but now here we've got Reed Detmers, who has a no hitter. Other than that, he's been hit all over the place.
It's been awful. He's been dreadful
against Jameson. Don't call me Garrett Cole Tyone, or if you just want to call him Pirates pitcher B, because he came over from there too.
Mm-hmm. I
know Cole had a stop in Houston in between, but still, he's 5-1 with a 2.49 ERA, a 1.007, a 1 James Bond WHIP, 1.007. And look at the controls there. He's got 5 walks, 39 strikeouts over 50 2/3. So he's not giving out the free passes.
That's good. That's a very, very good ratio, over 7-1. Not a ton of strikeouts though. Just 39 over 50 2/3. So,
but that's better than Detmers.
Yeah, true. I don't know. It was me and you. I got to tell you, the shows run together. Who I talk about with what, but we talked about Detmers in that no hitter. He had just 2 strikeouts, which is
Yeah.
kind of unusual. Just one walk, 2 strikeouts, just kind of weird.
Marla says the second Yankee game is highly likely to be rained out. Well, maybe the winds will blow the other way.
Damn it.
Because damn it, we want to see Detmers get lit up.
Yeah, we really do. All right, so Yankees playing well.
They're good at home.
This stat that you've put up there really indicates how well they're playing, because a lot of teams beat up on the teams they're supposed to play, but the Yankees are beating up on teams that they're supposed to play in the playoffs, because they are 11-3 last 14 against teams with a winning record. That's outstanding. They've been good against good pitchers. Those two things kind of go together there a little bit in a lot of cases.
I don't know if you can count Detmers as a good pitcher, because like we said, his whip is only that low because of that no hitter.
Right. Very true. Angels do not play well against good teams, or at least haven't lately, right?
Yeah, 0-6 in their last 6 against teams with a winning record, and they seem to be heading towards going 0-7 because the Yankees have now opened up I think it's a 3-0 lead, because I saw Ryan said Aaron Judge homered.
Let's go.
To join,
go Yankees.
To join Matt Carpenter and Gleyber Torres in the leaving the yard portion of the show. So Ohtani's given up 6 hits, 3 of them are homers in the first 3 innings. He's already thrown 64 pitches. Cortez has thrown 58.
58 through 3?
3. Yeah. He's walked 2, given up 3 hits, struck out 4.
That's all right. If you give me a battle of the bullpens and spot me 3 runs, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I can see that, especially with the way the Angels found ways to give up a ton of runs with their bullpen lately.
Yep. So it's kind of an unusual thing that we can talk about this game that you're previewing, and then we can talk about the one that's going on in real time and kind of compare and show you that a lot of these trends are still continuing.
Right.
Very good, sir. So we're -145, Yankees home team. Make you a little more skeptical about laying the wood there, or no?
Well, I mean, look what they've done in the first 3 innings against Ohtani. You think they can't light up Detmers and take a big lead?
I do know that all 4 of Detmer's losses have come by at least 3 runs, and 3 of them have come by 5 or more. So just one game was within 3. So if you wanted to take a spin and fade Detmers on the run line, even though the Yankees are at home, not a bad time to do it. Although, according to boots on the ground and the weather people in the comment section, this is likely to be 5 minutes of our time we have completely wasted, as this game sounds like it may not be played. So
maybe they'll just move the game up, and just instead of waiting until 7:05, maybe they'll just play it after the first one's over.
I don't think they can, man. You've got people that have, getting off work, and
yeah, who cares? Those people are there now anyway.
Remember when you used to be able to get 2 games for the price of 1? Oh, good times.
Yeah, I know. I hate these split doubleheaders.
Oh, agree. What do we got next?
All right, next we've got the Toronto Blue Jays and the Chicago White Sox, a game that'll be starting here in about 45 minutes at Rogers Center. Pay no attention to the record. I forgot to switch the White Sox mark out. They're below 500. The Blue Jays are above 500. That's what happens when I try to use the slide and just keep stuff in format. Johnny Cueto, 0-1, a 2.41 ERA, a 1.286 whip, 7 walks, 14 strikeouts, and 18 2/3. As the White Sox latest reclamation project, of course, Dallas Keuchel. I know Tim is disappointed that he cleared waivers and is now a free agent. No truth to the rumor that Steve Cohen is going to back up the Brinks truck to sign him, so they have a pitcher for the Mets. It's Alek Manoah. It's got 5-1, a 1.77 ERA, a Porsche 911 whip, 9 walks and 52 strikeouts over 56 innings of work. We've seen the Blue Jays take the first 2 in this series. They've won 7 in a row now going into today. The White Sox don't score any runs. I mean, that's been their biggest issue. They don't have Tim Anderson in the lineup. They don't have Eloy Jimenez in the lineup. You're running out of options.
Yeah. That's is Robert everything you thought he would be?
Not really. I know that people had high expectations for him. He's had problems staying healthy too.
Yeah, that's what he's been in and out of the lineup. He did crank a pretty good home run against the Royals a couple weeks ago, though, so I'll give him that.
But who doesn't?
That's unfortunately that's true. That was the worst thing about today, is I didn't have the Royals to fade.
Because they're in the early game, are they? Or are they off today?
They're off today.
Okay.
Oh,
that's right. They had the early game yesterday with Pilkington.
It wasn't scheduled, but MLB called them and told just stop playing for a day.
I should just take the day off.
It's like when you kind of have a meltdown at work, and your boss is like, "Why don't you just fucking go home for the day?" It's the way the Royals are playing right now. Look, you can't hit, you can't field, you can't pitch. Just relax. You guys go to the park or something.
Reminds me of what John McKay used to say about the Buccaneers when they were an expansion team. We couldn't do anything on offense, but on the flip side, we couldn't stop them either.
So some of the great quotes of all time from McKay, no question about it. Yeah, no faith in Johnny Cueto.
He just lost to the Cubs.
You're dead to me, Cueto. You lost to the Cubs. I don't love the price here, but I've made the mistake the first couple months of the season. I've really had to check myself as treating the Chicago White Sox as a good baseball team.
This is the problem.
Because right now they are not. They are an average team at best right now. So,
and even that might be generous.
I'm okay here. Toronto playing very good baseball. I'm probably going to be interested in the run line in this. I don't think I'm going to lay 185. That's a little outside of my price range, but you're catching 90 cents of value on the run line. So I think that's pretty reasonable. Blue Jays on the road?
No, Blue Jays are at home.
That's what I was afraid of. So I saw that price on that. Yeah, I got to be the home team on that.
I like this. Tony La Russa said Tuesday he hopes Tim Anderson will return from the 10-day injured list in 3 weeks.
Okay, good quote. I don't hate a first 5 here play either. First 5 run line, lay a half.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that as well. The nice thing about playing first 5 run lines with the home team is they don't have to stop scoring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you hit if you have the bases loaded and you hit a double, you get more than one run.
True.
As in the bottom of the 9th, you would just get the one run and the game would be over. That's the problem playing the run line, obviously. It's,
right.
Captain Obvious reporting for duty.
Got to feel bad for the A's yesterday. They took a 3-1 lead to the 9th against Houston, and the ever popular bases loaded walk came into play again as they walked Bregman with the bases loaded to force a run for the second straight day, and then they proceeded to give up a 3-run double on an 0-2 count and ended up losing 5-4.
Not good, Bob. Not good at all. Hey, what else we got?
Now we got hockey.
Hacky.
Hey, look, it's the battle of teams that don't know how to stop a beach ball.
We talked about it yesterday, about 7.5.
And it's actually 7.5 in a couple of books.
Lo and behold, 7.5 jumped up. So
at plus money, no less.
It's one of those situations where I'm not sure or not if I want to play the over, but I damn sure don't want to play the under. The Avs minus 165 over Edmonton.
Yeah, that line actually dropped because it was up in the 180 or 185 range. But after it was announced that Pavel Francouz will get the starting goal instead of Darcy Kemper, apparently people started putting money on Edmonton.
So that
don't get me wrong.
Official?
Yes, Kemper has been ruled out. It'll be Justus Ananen, who was playing down in the minors before the AHL season ended for Colorado's AHL affiliate. That'll be the backup, but they don't know if Kemper will be back for Game 3 so far. Jared Bednar staying very tight-lipped about the situation.
What's the backup goalie's name now?
Justus Anunen, Annunen.
Okay, because first time you said Juices, and I was going to say I'm going to guess you were 0 for 2 on those names.
It's possible. I mean, he's barely played. He's from Finland. He was drafted in the late in the second, early in the third round back in 2018. He's only 22. I know he played, I think, 1 game in the NHL this year.
He's from Finland, you say?
Yes, sir.
So we're not.
He played in 2 games. He's 1-0-1 with a 434 goals against and an 863 save percentage in the NHL. So
he's going to start strong, but being from Finland, you have to worry about the way that he's going to what?
Finish.
That's right.
Well, if he gets in the game, all might be lost by that point anyway if Francouz can't do the job.
Your bets are probably finished if that happens. Your Avalanche bets are finished. Okay, buddy, minus 165. Tell me why the Avs win this one.
Well, they're at home. Mike Smith, looked 40 the other day. He probably looked older than 40.
He looked remarkably Mike Smith-like, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if you noticed, but Colorado kept targeting him on the glove side. So apparently they must have found something that Calgary did where his glove isn't as quick as it used to be, because they just kept targeting him and giving him 6 goals on 25 shots before getting the hook 6 minutes into the second period. Reminded you a lot of game 1 against the Flames, didn't it?
It really did. It's hard not to draw parallels between those two games. So,
and I mean, this is a speculation. They haven't necessarily confirmed it's going to be Smith. You could see Mikko Koskinen. Hell, you could see Bill Ranford, Grant Fuhr. Insert any other previous Edmonton goaltender and pray that he's better than what you've seen.
Now a couple of them are probably younger than Smith anyway. So, not good, my friend. That's it's you look at the Colorado goaltending situation. First of all, how big of a drop off is that really with the way Kemper's been playing?
True. And Francouz was good in the regular season.
Right.
He was, let's see. Find the stat sheet here.
Because we talked about that the other day.
Yeah, he was 15-5-1 with a 255 goals against, a 916 save percentage in 21 games.
I'm sure there's people out there making the argument that that's a push. Perhaps even a little better than that to the positive side for Francouz. We'll see how that goes. Are you going to get involved with the total?
I've got it down in the shot in the dark area. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Avalanche play very good at home. They play very good as a home favorite, which is what they are almost all of the time. But they're 56-13. Last 69 is a home favorite, and they rally well, Chris, after giving up a shit ton of goals. 8-2 last 10 after allowing 5 goals or more in their previous.
And if you look at it, they're also 12-2 when their opponent scores at least 5. So
tighten up that defense, man. Gotta tighten up that defense.
And Edmonton doesn't like going to Colorado. Of course, we said Edmonton didn't like going to Calgary either, but they still won a game there.
Right.
And Sly threw out Andy Moog as another ex-Edmonton goaltender.
Oh, very good. Very good. That's he fits right in with the show. Because
he fits right in with Mike Smith. They're about the same age.
Oh, all right. So you like the Avs here minus the 165. They covered the puck line the other night, but it took an empty netter at the end to do it.
Hey, that's the great equalizer, though.
We talked about that, and we talked about some comparisons. Reichel compared it to scramble time at the end of a basketball game when they're
that's accurate,
fouling everybody as well. So when those totals go in the trash heap, and those underdog bets go in the trash heap a lot of the times, and that's what happened the other night. All of the over was a distant memory. It went over early in the second.
You were hoping it was going to go over twice.
Yeah, double up on the over. Avalanche minus 165. Good to throw in with the parlay. I don't hate the puck line here. I've preached Colorado doesn't cover, and then all they've done is go out and cover. So fuck them. I'm on board. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Avs Kool-Aid. Give me the puck line here at plus 135. It's a good price.
And
or maybe reg.
With a NASCAR update, Rye Cape said Kyle Busch's tire changer broke his fingers.
How did he, like on a practice, I guess? Huh. That'd be interesting. Was he trying to cheat? Was he trying to cheat at blackjack?
You never know. Michael asked if the jack fell on him.
Sounds like something, or the tire. The tire jack or something, or
maybe he owes Vinny the leg breaker some money.
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they might have backed room to him at the El Cortez in Vegas. All right, yeah, okay. So you're on the.
Hey, you know what we got now.
Well, I want to know if you want to lay the puck line here.
Oh, I think so. I mean, okay. Like you said, even if it's a 1-goal game late, you get the old empty netter, and it all pans out.
Light the lamp, baby. Hey, we've been bitching for a week about no NBA. Got any NBA? Got any more of that
No,
NBA? Man?
it was canceled due to lack of interest. Nobody wants to watch the finals. They'd rather go back and watch the first round.
I don't watch the hockey game. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to take Golden State. -3.5 over Boston. Teams split their 2 regular season matchups, each one on the road. Boston, middle of the road in playoffs and offense. They've been relying on defense. Meanwhile, Golden State leads the league in postseason scoring offense. And they'll face, like we said, that tough Boston defense. I think home court's going to be a big factor. Health is going to be a big factor. I know Robert Williams didn't play a whole lot in Game 7 against the Heat. Will Boston play him at all today? Will they decide to rest him and wait for Game 2? And like we said earlier, Otto Porter's trending back towards playing. Iguodala's trending back towards playing. Gary Payton is talking about he could be back. They're all marked as questionable tonight. But questionable is a damn good better site than out, which is what they've been.
I did this play as my play of the day for my video, and I posited after reading the tea leaves and listening to the interviews and reading everything I could that Porter would be back tonight. Peyton will be back for the next game, and I'm not sure Iguodala is going to play. I doubt if he plays before Game 4, if he plays at all.
Do you think it'll be that late?
That's my prediction. And I could be 100% wrong. Could be 100% wrong on all of them. They could all play tonight, and I'm an idiot. But that's just reading what they were saying. That was my best guess.
Gotcha.
But I didn't factor any of them playing into my pick.
Gotcha. And what did you pick?
I have the Warriors -3.5. It's such a public play. The public is on it. The money is on it. It's like 77% of the bets, 83% of the money. At least it was last night. Sometimes the public's right, Chris. You always hear it's a public play. It's a public play. It's a square play. Yeah,
damn squares.
I know. I want to look for a reason to go contrarian here, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't make the case stick up. This is the way this Golden State offense runs is so much different than anything that Boston has seen in the playoffs so far. Boston has played 2 teams that basically play hero ball. Ironic since Hero was out, but they played Milwaukee, where most of the team stands around and waits to see what Giannis is going to do, and then they played Miami, and they do the same thing with Butler, not to the extent that they do with Giannis, but it's still Butler's show. So now they're going to play a team that plays team ball, that anybody is out there could be the leading scorer, that move without the ball better than any team, and they have the highest rate of assist of any team in the playoffs. So I think Boston's going to struggle, at least in Game 1.
Now you talk about hero ball with the Bucks. Do you think it would Boston be here if Middleton had been healthy in that series?
If Middleton is healthy and Hero is healthy, they're not here. They lose one of those series. I'm not sure which one, but they lose one of those 2 for sure.
So there you go. That's hard hitting analysis.
Well, I mean, that's you asked me a question. I give you my opinion. I think that's absolutely accurate. I think it's a good question, and I think that there's a very good possibility, since they were basically stretched to the limits in both of those series, that one player for the other team puts them over the top. Just saying.
And Michael asking about what an air bottle cart is, because apparently it broke and caught Kyle Busch's tire changer's hand on the way down.
An air bottle cart. Well,
I'm sure Rye might know what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, obviously, I'm going to give the smart ass answer and say it's a cart that carries air bottles, but I don't know.
Here's a bottle of compressed air.
I don't know what you use the air for. That's the. Do you have to travel with your? I mean, surely there's a source of air for like your lift and everything, right? In your guns. Isn't that all? Maybe you do carry that with you. I don't know, because all those air guns are compression.
Yeah, so I mean, it could
the wrenches and stuff are compressed air.
Yeah, may have had the air or the tanks on there.
I don't know, man. Everything I know about cars, I could write on a matchbook. So, give me some stats here, buddy.
This is how you start it. You put the key in and turn it.
I'm a little better than that, but like my extent of my ability is I can change my own oil. That's it.
Well, but that's nothing, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do I do it? No, I do not, because number one, I'm in an apartment, so I'd have to like.
Oh yeah, you'd have to take it out somewhere else.
Parking spot. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just. It's not for $30 or whatever. For $40 since I use the mix oil. Fuck it.
Yeah, if you're gonna have to move it somewhere else to do it, you might as well move it somewhere else and have somebody else do it.
My theory is I'm keeping the economy going. If I start doing stuff like that myself, that just chokes off the economy. You know, those guys at Jiffy Lube, they got to eat. So,
you're strangling the Valvoline instant oil change people.
I always like going to like the auto parts store, getting an air filter and putting it on right before I get my oil changed. Just laugh my ass off and go, well, that air filter is pretty bad. You're going to need a new air filter. Like, no, I'm not. I put it in 3 hours ago, so pretty sure it's good.
Rye said an air bottle cart is a jack.
An air bottle cart is a jack.
Is it the jack of spades?
Okay. See, that would not have been my guess. So that's why it's nice to have a NASCAR guy in the comment section to answer questions like that Chris and I would have had to Google furiously and then probably come up with the wrong answer.
Exactly.
All right, bud. Take the Warriors. Come out and play. You worried about the number at all? You worried about 3.5?
No, I think that it'll probably be a 5 or 6 point game. So I'm not too worried about that. Because we know if it gets down to it, Golden State can knock down free throws.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. They're 6-0 at home straight up, 5-1 against the number. They just had a 3-point win against Memphis. That was the only game where they didn't cover the spread. But other than that, every game that they've won at home has been by 9 points or more. They've average margin of victory has been about 15 points. So I'm an amazing font of information when I've already written it down earlier for my play.
Makes it easy, doesn't it?
Now the plus side, I'm not even reading it. I did actually remember that stuff. So,
but you can't remember where you put your keys.
Nope. I have to put them in. I got a lot of cheats, buddy. I put like stuff in the same place because it makes me crazy. My wife will lose her phone all the time, at least twice a day, and finally broke down. Her Apple Watch was busted. We finally got her a new one. Finally, I broke down and did it. And that's so much because then she can hit the beeper and it tells where her phone is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
The Find My Phone thing or whatever it is.
I got to be honest with you. I love her and I'd still marry her. But if we were just dating today and I'd seen the phone thing, I'd be like, oh, man, we got to fix that. And
she'd probably say the same thing about your hair.
Oh, she'd say the same thing about so many of my things. No question about it. There's no do-overs, buddy. No goes backsies. So, all right, let's make some money, man. Let's show me some two-teamers.
All right, well, we've got the first ones there. We talked about the Blue Jays and the Warriors already. I just think that those two teams are in good shape here. And then we got the Marlins. Think about that, the Marlins. They're throwing Sandy Alcantara today against Alex, soft wood.
And you have the opportunity to call him Morning Wood, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Alcantara, he's 5-2. His ERA is 2. His WHIP is 1.005. He's struck out 63 and 67 and 2/3 innings. He leads the majors in innings pitched so far, which is pretty impressive. And the Marlins are at home. We just watched the Giants lose the other day, like we said, or not the other day, yesterday. And if you look, Alcantara coming off, he threw a complete game in a win over the Braves on May 22nd, where you have 3 runs, none earned, 6 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. And then he faced the Braves on the road in his last start. 8 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, no walks, struck out 14.
That's solid. That's very solid.
So he's been on a roll. He's won his last 3 starts, given up a total of 5 runs in 25 innings. Look at that. 3 straight starts with 8 innings pitched. Who's this guy think he is?
This is a throwback, man. That is
Tom Seaver?
Absolute throwback. Alex Wood, man. What happened to this cat? Because he was really good last year. He was decent to start the season, gave up just 2 earned in his first 9 1/3 innings, and then kind of falling off the wagon a little bit there, buddy. Any theory?
481 ERA. Well, I mean, he doesn't have a ton of good stuff when you get right down to it.
Right.
He's another junk baller.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he has 45 strikeouts in 43 innings, but I mean, he struck out more than 6
Sounds like some good
once.
junk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you got to remember 2 of his starts were against the Nationals, and he also faced Cleveland, and he's faced Cincinnati.
Fair enough.
And the Rockies twice.
Yeah, he has not been good lately, giving up 11 earned over his last 12 innings, his last 3 starts.
Yeah.
That's not ideal. So, yeah.
Not good, Bob.
I'm not going to lay 140 on the Marlins many times, but I think this is a good matchup for him. So,
Tim, I'm not concerned about them playing a doubleheader because if Alcantara goes 8 by himself, hopefully we don't see a Pablo Lopez situation like we did the other day. But I'm just not sold on the Giants because they looked bad yesterday. I thought they were going to beat Nola. They had that 5-run inning and didn't score the rest of the game.
it's so bizarre. I mean, they came roaring back, and then they just said, "No, that's
screw it."
Very weird.
And on the other half of that, I look for Edmonton to go over 3.5. The Oilers have scored at least 4 goals in their last 6 playoff games. And after what we saw in Game 1, this has shootout written all over it.
You know, it's one of those things. I said last night, about that game, I said, I'm going to back Tampa Bay. I'm going to lay the money. It's the better goalie and the better team until you show me differently. That's the way I'm going to think. Well, they showed me differently last night. I feel the same way about playing the over in this series. Yes, you could have a game where the defense is tightened down and the goalies play well. Somebody stands on their head and it could end up 3-1. But until that happens, it's going to take a better hockey guy than me to predict something like that. Finding something that I didn't see. So yeah, I'm going to have to play the Edmonton over. I'll play the full. I mean, and is there any way that Edmonton gets over 3.5 and this doesn't go over the total of 7.5?
I can't see it.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to kind of be clear on that because I see it the same way. But
yeah, I see. I think if Edmonton gets 4, it's going to be 5-4 or 6-4.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So, very good. Show the payouts there. Basically, getting 3-2 on your money for the 2-teamers. If you just play them straight up,
that's for the first 2-teamer because that's how I do them. Okay.
Yeah, the first.
You said 2-teamers, so
the first 2-teamer. Sorry, yeah. Run line almost double up on that. You're almost getting 3-1 on your $100 there if you decided to lay a little wood. Second 2-teamer there with the Marlins and the Oilers. Straight up will get you 285, and go ahead and take the run line. You want to take the run line on the Marlins? Godspeed, buddy. Nice payout.
Like I said, Alcantara pitched well.
He did.
He's pitching well right now, not giving up much offensively.
I just worry about the run line. A team that doesn't score many runs. Miami does.
I get it.
So you could see a 4.
But hey, they put up a truckload of runs yesterday against Colorado. They won the opener 14-1 and then lost the nightcap. What was it, 13-12?
Yeah, 13-12. What a game that was too. 473. So almost 5-1 on your money there if you wanted to do that. So big risk comes with big rewards, my friend.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Also true. Give me a 4-teamer.
All right, we got the Braves. You know who's pitching for the Braves, right?
It's about Ian Anderson, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is thick as a brick, Ian Anderson.
I'm just thinking of where they were in their rotation. I'm like, yeah, that's got to be Ian Anderson.
Against Austin Gomber.
Huh. Okay.
Who hasn't pitched well of late.
That Arenado trade looking better and better, isn't it?
Be for the team with the best fans of baseball?
Oh, that's so funny. We're going to need your best player, and we'll give you this guy. All right, cool.
We'll give you a sack of tape.
But they're doing that trade, and St. Louis is still sitting there with their hand going, no, we're going to need $50 million too. I'm sorry, what? You need $50 million to take our best player off our hand? Yeah, it's a tough market out there.
Yeah, it's a buyer's market, you know.
GM in Colorado's high-fiving the owner going, fuck, we'd have gone 70. Oh.
Yeah, we saved $20 million.
Right.
But Gomber in his last start, not good. Pitching against the Nationals, no less, in Washington, where we've talked about Washington can't score.
No.
8 runs on 7 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout in an inning and a third.
Not ideal.
And a 13-7 Rockies loss.
Not ideal at all. Rockies team playing pretty good ball, Chris. At least they just took 2 of 3 from Miami. They did lose. They lost 3 of 4 to Washington, though. They are not a good road team, my friend. Not good at all. They're coming back home there, so all bets are off, except the one we're going to make on this. But you're talking about Gomber, and we've talked about this the bullpen hierarchy before. That a lot of times you'll see a guy that's not a great starting pitcher, and those games end up giving a shit ton of runs because they put the second tier bullpen guys in, and that's exactly what's happened to Gomber. As 3 of his last 4 starts, the Rockies have given up 8 or more. So, including the 13 previously mentioned by the co-host right there, his last start. So,
and what's sad is Gomber's game score for that start against the Nationals, 6.
Jesus, that's as bad as you'll ever see.
His previous low was 27, and that came back in his second start of the year. But yeah,
hoo-ah,
6.
Hoo-ah.
3 swinging. He had 3 swinging strikes compared to 7 looking strikes.
Not good, Bob. Not good at all.
So they must have been bored stiff because the count was 3-0 and just looked at a couple.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do. Go ahead. Anderson hasn't been fantastic his last couple of starts, my friend. He's given up 4 earned each time. He's going to get you some distance. He's going to pitch into the 6th. That's kind of his thing. He's one of those guys. He's that James Shields kind of guy where he's not going to mow anybody down, but he's going to go out there and compete. Going to keep you in games. And really, if you can go to Colorado and stay in games, that's really the idea, because at any point your offense could erupt against either the terrible Colorado starting pitching or the terrible Colorado bullpen. So,
yeah, and before those last 2 starts, he had strung together 6 straight starts where he hadn't given up more than 3. So maybe this will be a chance for him to right the ship.
Yeah, go to Colorado. That's a good place for your pitching to get well. Good theory.
Well, no, I mean, you're facing the Rockies, so
it's a decent price. You're laying the wood there, but it's really, for me, it's a vote of no confidence in Austin Gomber.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look for the White Sox and Blue Jays to stay under the number. They've stayed under in 8 of Manoah's last 9 starts. The White Sox have stayed under the total to the tune of 10-2-1 in their last 13 on the road against a right-handed starter.
Very good.
Not expecting much offense there from them with their patchwork lineup.
That could easily be a 6-2 win for the Jays. No question. All right.
We talked about the Yankees game 2. As long as they play that game, which they better, because we're tired of talking about Reed Detmers.
Yankees averaging one run an inning so far in the game. I like it.
What is it? Is it 4-0? 5-0?
It's 4-0. Yeah.
Is it 4? Is Ohtani still out there?
I don't know. I'm just keeping up through the grid.
And look at that. How often would you see the Marlins and the Reds in the same show as a pick, as opposed to the team that are going to get beat up on?
I know who's going to be on the Odds Makers We're Drunk segment tomorrow. Chris King, everybody. Reds and Marlins. Get down right now.
Well, do you know who's pitching for Washington?
Steven Strasburg.
Joan Adon.
Oh, no. Joan Adon. No. Just no.
Also known as Agon, because he might as well be 1-8 with a 6.08 ERA. He leads the majors with 29 walks. He also leads the majors with 6 wild pitches. A 1.669 WHIP, 50 hits allowed in 47 1/3, plus all those walks. You can't even say he's had bad luck. His FIP is 5.13.
The only good thing you can say about Adon is he only goes out there once every 5 games. That's it. And that's, if you're a gambler, that's a bad thing, because you can only cash that ticket once every 5 days. So
yeah, pitching for the Reds is, let's see,
Graham
Ashcraft.
You don't make it easy, do you, buddy? Ram Ashcraft. That sounds like somebody that ought to be in your action novel.
He's made 2 starts. He's 1-0 with a 1.69 ERA.
Okay. Built Ram tough.
Yep, he's pitched against. Let's see. Pitched against the Blue Jays, went 4 1/3, 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks on 3 strikeouts, and he beat the Giants. 6 1/3 scoreless innings, allowing 4 hits with 2 walks and 1 strikeout in a 5-1 win in his last start.
And that's hard because if you know about Giants, they're bigger than everybody else. So that's even a more impressive feat. So
that's true. So back to the Reds, because we might not ever say it again.
Ram Ashcraft is the pivotal game in your 4-team parlay. Beautiful.
Hey, Broncos got the Reds in a parlay. He's got the Reds, Yankees, and Warriors at plus 351.
Okay. God bless him. 866 is what that 4-teamer pays. That's not bad. That's pretty good. If you wanted to, you got a little gamble in you. You got a little gamble in you.
Michael Dose said he saw Ram Ashcraft in a movie cleaning pools for nice young ladies.
Nice. That's the other name. I avoided it. I didn't say it. I should have known. We have a comment section that is full of sharp, funny people. I should have known it wasn't going to get by. I should have gone ahead and done it. But Ram Ashcraft, man, run line 22-1. That's good money. It's good money right there.
Yep, and now we'll zip through the 10.
Okay.
White Sox, I'm looking to score under 3.5. They only average 3.6 anyway, so this isn't that much of a stretch.
I usually like my trends to show that the bet actually hits more often.
No, that's what I mean. They only average 3.6 runs a game all season.
Right.
So they're facing Manoah, who's got an ERA under 2.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to take the Mariners, even though Robbie Ray was terrible yesterday. They're going back to Chris Flexen today against, is it Jordan Lyles? God, I hope so.
I think it is. I think
it is.
Versus Lyles. Oh, my God.
It's basically even money there. Flexen beat Verlander. He should be able to beat Jordan Lyles.
Okay.
Ian Anderson over 3.5 strikeouts. It's the Rockies.
You know what I'm going to say about the first 2 games? I really don't mind if I sit those 2 out. Okay. Speaking of seconds of break, Ian Anderson over 3.5 strikeouts. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Plus money.
Yeah, Manoah at over 5.5. He's averaging better than almost 7 to start. I'm going to look for the Celtics and Warriors to stay under 214. I just don't know. It's going to be a feeling out process, like you said. Both these teams are going to have to adjust. I don't think you're going to see a truckload of points. By that token, I think Klay Thompson's going to go over 20.5 because they're going to try and key on Curry and shut him down. And we've seen Boston do a good job on opposing point guards. They made life difficult for the one-legged Kyle Lowry, and they made it tough on Jrue Holiday in the series with the Bucks. So I think Curry's going to end up under 27.5.
Okay.
There's the puck line we talked about, Edmonton, Colorado. You can get it at 7 if you want, but you're paying minus 135 or minus 140 if you're taking the over. So, I mean, that's a lot of juice to pay for a potential push, wouldn't you say?
I'm going to talk about this on the next show.
Well, that's just great. Way to deprive the people that aren't going to tune in because they don't want to see Reichel, and they can't put a piece of paper over that side of the screen because then they can't see the chat.
Can their Steehn love overcome their Reichel hate? That's really the question. Yes, we will talk about that more on the next.
I'm going to look for the Avs to win in regulation, and McKinnon to have at least 2 points.
Fair enough. Kind of a light payout day, Chris. Only $84,000 on $100. Oh.
Yeah, that's because we didn't have any massive. We took all the big underdogs in the other part.
Yep.
And there were no good games to talk about. I saw Silva asked, "What do you think about the Mets and Dodgers?"
As the future of the franchise, is the game today you're talking about?
The game with Walker and is it Walker and Gonsolin?
It is Walker and Gonsolin. Yes, it is. 8.5 may be a little strong. That is a night game there in LA. I always look for the under there. Of course, it didn't come in last night. We had the over and it cashed. But I think with this pitching matchup, I don't hate a first 5 under. If you can find 4.5 at a decent price, I think that's a solid play. Both of these pitchers have been really good, and they've been really good lately. So I think you're going to get a pitcher's duel. Is there a problem in Dodger land, Chris? They haven't scored a ton of runs. They've just scored 18 runs Over their last 5, that's 3.6 per game. Offense is off a little bit. The pitching hasn't been horrible, but it hasn't been good in the right places. Is there a problem?
I think it was complacency. I think they said, "Oh, we just beat up the Diamondbacks. Now we're going to play another bottom feeder in Pittsburgh, so we don't need to show up."
Yeah, well, that was. I guarantee you, there were some people in LA dancing about that stretch with Washington, Arizona, and Pittsburgh. Thought they were going to clean house.
Yeah, go 10-0 or whatever.
All right, there you go. Hey, we got to get out of here, man. I got to roll down to the other studio. As always, we thank everybody for joining us here today. One more time, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned. Right around the corner, Scott and I will be doing Back to the Window. But until then, if you can't make that show, we want you to come back tomorrow and check us out here as we do it every day, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. As Chris and I will talk about, well, frankly, a lot of stuff, but we try to concentrate on
just parlays.
That's right. We'll see you guys.